gosh, this is a very obedient crowd. I speak and people quiet down. It's amazing. Well, good morning. My name is John Epprecht, and I am chairman of the Geauga Growth Partnership, and I would like to call to order this annual meeting of the members of the partnership. Our secretary, Rich Frenchy, informs me that there is a quorum of members present. There is one item of business before the members, and that's the election of directors. Before we move to this item, we would like to take a few minutes to report on the state of your organization. There are some special people here that I would like to introduce. First of all, our annual meeting sponsors. Just thank you very much. Our gold sponsor, Raymond James Financial, Dennis Schwartz. University Hospital, Geauga Medical Center, Stephen Jones. Our silver sponsors, Beckham Lubrication Technology, John Steigerwald. Fairmont Minerals, Bill Conway. Glenmead, Tracy Jameson II. Honest Scales Recycling, Paul Miller. Oswald Companies, Bill Fisher and Mike Cremans. Geauga Hardwood Flooring and Paneling, Barbara Titus and Pete Miller. Universal Disposal, Cheryl and Mark Clemson. Our bronze sponsors, State Senator John Eklund, Federal Improvement Company, Dave Ford, First Energy, Doug Hogan, First Merit, Tom Anderson, Geauga Credit Union, Lisa Briggs, POV, Chris Uhas, Thrasher, Dinsmore and Dolan, Mary Jane Trapp and Laura Wellen, and Troy Innovative Instruments, Dan McGlynn. We appreciate your support for the fourth annual meeting, for the leadership they bring to the economic prosperity of the county. We owe them a big round of applause, if you would, please. Next, I'd like to recognize some special people from the state and the county and local governments who make Geauga County work. Senator John Eklund from the 18th District, Senator Capri Cafaro from the 32nd District, State Representative John Patterson from the 99th District, Geauga County Commissioner Mary Samid, Nick Ciafani from Congressman Dave Joyce's office, Nicole Costura representing Governor John Kasich, Nancy MacArthur, City of Chardon Vice Mayor, Ken Radke, Chester Township Trustee, Ken Burnett, Burton Township Trustee, Randy Sharp, City Manager, City of Chardon, and Anita Stocker, the Geauga County Community Economic Development Director. I want to also recognize some partners and collaborators that we have here in Geauga County that we lean on very heavily all the time throughout the course of the year. Dick Coyne and John Slaybaugh are SCORE collaborators. Ann Fairhurst of the Lake Geauga Fund of the Cleveland Foundation. Kent State University Geauga Campus, Jared Tudor and staff. Geauga County Educational Service Center, Matt Guillemot, Susan Allen, and Trista Linden Warren. Doug DeLong from Berkshire School Superintendent, Julie Ramos from Ledgemont Superintendent, Steve Frisch from Team NEO, Michael Lalich from Team NEO, Sean DeVise from the Greater Cleveland Partnership, Linda Nemeth, Director of Geauga County Tourism, Margot Rita and Denise Tomsick from Ohio Means Jobs and Business Resource Network, Geauga County Jobs and Family Services. All these leaders play a role in the Geauga County business, and we welcome their collaboration and with us this morning. One last group that I'd like to recognize, and that's the GGP staff. Without them and without their tireless efforts, certainly none of this would have happened today, but also, as you will see through the membership and some of the things that we're doing, they are working tirelessly to, let's say, to keep the pace of what we put before them. Marcia Owen, our administrative manager, Georgia Klemensick, the career education coordinator, Bonnie Troyer, workforce development director, Dave Kraninger, GGP business consultant, our summer intern this year, Cole Protz, and last but not least, Tracy Jamison, who is our newly elected president. The last group I would like to recognize is the board of directors of this organization. They work hard, they're involved in task force, they're involved in everything. They show up for board meetings, they work very, very hard. I am honored to work with such a great group. I believe there's 20 of them now, 19? And they just work and they're able to keep up the pace all the time. Now, John Steigerwald, the partnership vice president, and I would like to say a few words about why GGP is so important in this county. The GGP was formed 4 years ago, intended to be the trusted advisor and advocate for Geauga County businesses. Our highest priority remains the same as it was during our first formative years, to assist Geauga County's existing and new business and to help them succeed and grow. We accomplish this through our organization and through our collaborations. We're fortunate to have in Geauga County the fertile ground that allows businesses to grow organically and to have everything they need. We depend on county officials to keep this productive infrastructure in place. And I think that that's something that we work very closely with the county to make sure that we have everything in place so there is no question that we can grow business in this county. As I look back over GGP's 4 years of operation, I think we've been successful as a voice and representative of Geauga County business. For the first time, all businesses in our county have a voice. And I have to ask myself, why is there success? I think the answer is simple. We've tried as a group to stay focused on what makes a difference in business. We see and we listen to what our members say by putting out surveys. And two things that commonly show up every year is healthcare and education workforce. And I'd like to say a few words about those activities and related to the education workforce. This is a topic that is just very close to my heart as a resident of Geauga County, a graduate of a county high school, and that is really educated workforce. I mean, it's really near and dear to my heart at Great Lakes Cheese, and it's not just today, but it's also in the future. All too often, young people come into my company to fill out an application, and they're just not prepared. They're not either prepared for the application process or the job and what they're expected to do, like show up every day. The GGP, we're taking steps to help Geauga County high school students be prepared. Our intern program is one way that the GGP and Geauga County employers are helping prepare our young people for the workplace. And I'd like to thank the leadership of Lee Emhoff and Georgia Klemensick and the internship task force for guiding this program. This year, we have 36 interns that we placed, and that's quadrupled the number from 2 years ago. So this program is just well received and well underway, and my hat's off to that task force. Another way that we're working to improve our future workforce is collaborating with local schools, high schools, on preparing tomorrow's workforce today. This year, we held 2 career days at Kent State Geauga campus. The first of these was held in January for 90-plus Berkshire juniors. And they were our inaugural class. They attended the very first event as sophomores. We had over 40 employers from Geauga County who worked with the students on their interviewing skills, We also had speakers who focused on making a first impression when you go in for an interview. But most importantly, in today's world, we expose them to some of the do's and don'ts with social media. That's something that is just evolved in the last 5 or 6 years, and to get these kids at age 16 and 17 to start to understand what you can post and what you can't post, it becomes career-changing decisions. Our second career day involved over 150 Berkshire, Ledgemont, and Newbury Southmores. Here's where business starts. We're looking at, all right, if we're going to put this much energy into a day like this, how can we do this and make it as grand as possible and touch as many lives as possible? We had over 20 Geauga County business people show up that day and work with 150 students. They helped them write resumes. They took them through the interview process and also talked to them about soft skills. Very, very successful. This coming year, we're looking at touching 350 students. So we started out with one class at Berkshire, and we hope that this year we can touch 4 of the school districts in the county, and that's really where we want to continue to grow. The program takes a lot of work. It's a commitment of the school district and a commitment of the business community. I can't say enough for the support we have gotten from Berkshire, Ledgemont, and Newbury, their administrators and the staff. They were great collaborators and made the career day a huge success. I'd also like to thank John Wilhelm, who is the chairman of the Education Task Force. John has, his leadership to make this happen is second to none. Both our intern and career education programs are examples of GGP tackling issues at the heart of our business success here in Geauga County, and I'm proud of all of them. I can go on and talk about the entrepreneur program, our healthcare initiatives, or how we've worked with First Energy on power quality, but instead, I'm going to ask my good friend John Steigerwald, our GGP Vice Chairman, to take a few minutes and talk about membership of your organization. John?
Good morning. Before I get into the stats on membership and talk about the survey, I want to take a moment and on behalf of myself and the GGP board and staff, and thank John Eprick for his passionate committedness to this GGP organization, his company's involvement in that same manner, and also the most important thing is we eat cheese at every meeting.
Benefit, right?
Today I feel like, picture this in a moment. Anybody see the movie Fields of Dream? Kevin Costner? What did he say? Build it, they will come. And that's what we feel like at the GGP. Build it and they will come. What you see up here is a bar graph. I think it speaks for itself. In 2014, we already have 26 new members, and we're only in June. And I would say that has a lot to do with what has happened in the past 4 years, the leadership in that period of time, and the involvement of all of you and the board and their committedness. The distribution of that membership remains in the same focus that we wished it to be when we started. We wanted this to be a business-based organization, a business-driven organization, and a membership-driven organization. The distribution is clear. The pie is heavily weighted to the business side, but we have, as John mentioned in his opening comments, we have a lot of collaborative partners who has helped us in basically creating this horizon of, I call it momentum, that we see, and that you all experience of this. But one of the things I'll tell you is, if you're a member you get the most out of anything you belong to is if you get involved and you participate in that activity. That's your return of being a member of an organization. This organization has a return available to every member that wants to be and draw out of it its assets that are available to you. Survey results. I feel like I need a gavel or something. We sent out over 100 surveys. We had a 44% response. I thank all the members who gave us those responses because, as I said, this is a membership-driven organization, and as a result, we try to focus on what our members talk to us about. This is one technique that we use as a way to try to guide us in trying to create some kind of roadmap. We posed some various questions. These are the results of those questions. One of them was business conditions to improve over the next 6 months. Good news is everybody sees it either the same or better. Not much different than 2013, by the way. A similar kind of view. This time we had 0, though, on the decline side. Another positive perspective is hiring in the next 6 months. In 2014, we had 67% respond as yeses. In 2013, we had about 57% respond as yeses. How many will they hire? You see the distribution there. 64% indicated a hiring condition of either 1 to 10. Another kind of perspective is in capital investments. This actually dropped back from 2013, but most of this information I'm providing you, if you kind of read the paper or listen to the news, what we have as a result of these surveys doesn't seem to be too much different than what's out there. People are watching their cash, people are watching how they spend their money, and where they invest their money of sorts. But it is on the positive side. We asked 5 major factors affecting your business. John, in his opening comments, drew attention to some of these already, and they haven't changed too much, but the priorities are moving around a little bit. In 2014, the government policies and regulations, actually, I can actually put up healthcare up into that group as well, to amplify that kind of condition. The uncertainty is still about the U.S. economy. Is it going to keep its strength? Is it going to lose its strength? All of the things that we read about and hear about. Don't have to speak any more about what John already talked about in a very passionate way, the hiring of qualified personnel and the federal health care. The number one issue in 2013 was health care. The number 2 issue was uncertainty about the effects of government regulation. So you can see the amplification of what I'm drawing attention to in that condition. The top issues concerning your business, okay, health insurance, workforce again, entry-level workforce, energy cost, county, local regulations. You can read the slides. One thing I'll draw attention to, energy reliability. I can remember some years back where that was up in the top 3 or 4. To our first energy group, you see where it's at now. Thank you very much. Skills most lacking high school graduates. For those, if you heard John's comments and most probably your own kind of experiences, none of these should be a surprise to you. Problem solving, teamwork, interpersonal skills, soft skills, writing skills, a lot of those things that this organization is trying to assist with into the school systems by providing a business kind of perspective to the students and to the schools in trying to work in a collaborative way. Top issues to tackle in the next 12 months. This is your input to the Geauga Growth Partnership. We want to attract new businesses. Remember, that's part of the mission of the GGP. Bring education and business together. I think that's a priority you can hear amplified in this meeting based upon some speakers we'll have speak later. attracting and growing entrepreneurs. We have an entrepreneur task force that's vibrant, has sessions on Friday morning, breakfast meetings. Next one's at Trueline, Christian, right? Healthcare reform, healthcare task force, consulting services, which we just started opening up that avenue here in the last 6 months or 5 months. I put a 1 next to everyone that's tied to either students, technical workers, education, and you can see there's 4 of them up there listed as priorities. And if I put those all together, I would say they would move all the way up towards near the top. Wow. I like that. On behalf of the membership committee and on behalf of you as the members who provided us input, I thank you. Now I'm going to pass on to Jay Giles, Senior Vice President for Middlefield Banking Company, who's going to tell you about the dollars and cents about the Geauga Growth Partnership. Thank you very much.
Good, thank you, John. Good morning, thank you for joining us. I'm Jay Giles from the Middlefield Banking Company. My purpose in the 3 minutes that John has allocated to me is to give you an overview of the financial condition of the Geauga Growth Partnership for the year ending December of 2013. The Geauga Growth Partnership is an Ohio not-for-profit corporation. The partnership's income consists of dues, donations, and grants. In 2013, this income totaled $169,601. That represents a 48% increase from last year. John gets credit for a lot of that. That's a 40% increase from what we saw last year. Very exciting. Expenses for 2013 totaled $136,933. So our revenue actually exceeded our expenses by $32,000. Our primary expense in 2013 was for our staff, and that represented 71% of our expenses. The partnership's balance sheet was strong at year-end 2013 with liquid assets of $209,205, and there were no outstanding liabilities. Our office space, some utilities, and a portion of our marketing expenses were in-kind contributions. Chuck and Nancy White were generous in donating office space to the Growth Partnership in 2013. Our budget for 2014 is $198,000. You heard John talk about our high school internship program. $29,000 of that budget is dedicated to that high school internship program. The Growth Partnership is fully dependent upon dues and membership sponsorships. That necessitates an energetic membership retention and recruitment program. My purpose has been to give you an overview of our financial condition. Again, if you're not yet a member of the Growth Partnership, we need you. There's some exciting things going on in this process, and I hope that you will join us. I'll be available after the meeting if there's any questions. But again, I thank you for being here. I thank you for supporting the Growth Partnership. And if you're not yet a member, we need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Now we turn to the formal business of the morning, the election of directors. I would like to ask Carolyn Balogh to present the nominations of the Board Development, from the Board Development Committee. Carolyn? Need to go to 11. 11. There you go.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Board Development Committee, I am pleased to nominate the following persons for election to the Board of Directors of the Geauga Growth Partnership. I would like to ask each nominee to stand as her or his name is read. For re-election to 3-year terms beginning July 1st, 2014. William Conway, founder and chairman emeritus, Fairmont Minerals. David Ford, president, the Federal Improvement Company. Lee Emhoff, President, Troy Chemical Industries Incorporated. Christian Klein, President, Company 119. Doug Hogan, Director of External Affairs, First Energy. Keith Tompkins, retired Connecticut. We are gratified. You may be seated. Thank you. We are gratified that these Geauga County leaders are willing to continue to play key roles in our organization. For election to a new 3-year term, we nominate John Wilhelm. John? John is the former owner of a family company and is strongly committed to supporting the economic vitality of our county. He currently serves as our Education Committee Chair. Thank you, John. I want to thank these nominees for being willing to serve. I also want to announce that the Board Development Committee will propose that the board elect to 1-year terms all of the incumbent officers, and they are Chairman John Eprick, Great Lakes Cheese, Troy.
Remember, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year, one more year. Vice Chair John Stegerwald, Bechem Lubricant Technology, Bainbridge. Secretary Richard F. Frenchie, the Frenchie Group, Auburn. And Treasurer J. Giles, Middlefield Bank, Middlefield. Thank you. Before the vote, I want to thank the Board Development Committee. They are Bill Conway, Fairmont Minerals, Bill, Rich Frenchie, the Frenchie Group, Chuck Miller, Duramax, and Keith Tompkins for their careful consideration of candidates. Their work continues throughout the year, and we are always welcome for recommendations from you, our members. Thank you so much.
So you've heard the report from the Board Development Committee and the nominations. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no further nominations, is there a motion to elect the persons nominated as directors of the Geauga Growth Partnership for the terms indicated? Is there a second? Thank you. Is there any discussion? All members in favor of the motion to elect all nominees directors of the partnership indicate by saying aye. All those members opposed to the motion, nay. It looks as though the ayes have it. Let me add my thanks to Carolyn and the Board Development Committee. We look forward to working with this outstanding group and the elected and re-elected board members. Thank you very much. At this time, we'd like to recognize Carolyn, who is stepping down from our board of directors. Carolyn was a founding member of the Geauga Growth Partnership Board of Directors, and she has always been a stalwart leader whose contributions and guidance were just valued by other directors as the GGP got off and started to grow this past 4 years. Carolyn, it is with a great sense of appreciation and respect that I present to you the Geauga Growth Partnership's Founders Award. This represents just a small token of our appreciation for the dedication you have bestowed upon this organization. And it is my honor to acknowledge this and give you this award. Carolyn? It's always good pictures for, you want to say something?
Yes.
All right.
I would just love to say thank you so much. It's been a pleasure helping to develop this new organization, and it's been a very fruitful thing for me as an individual and our company. And this morning when I came and I saw Mar-Bal up on the screen, I thought,
Oh, that's a problem.
oh my goodness, I hope I remembered to bring my credit card. Thank you, John.
Okay. We good to go? All right. I'd also like to recognize another individual that has, to say the least, had a huge impact on this organization. When we first had the vision of creating an organization led by business to further economic development in Geauga County, there was really only one person that could lead us. And while he turned us down several times, he finally agreed to be the first president for 1 year. Well, 3 years later, he developed an organization that we as members can be very, very proud of. It is safe to say that without the leadership of Frank Samuel, we would not be the caliber of organization that leads business growth in Geauga County as we do today. So today, we are going to unveil the Frank Samuel Geauga Growth Partnership Distinguished Service Award. The Frank Samuel Award recognizes prolonged service and outstanding achievement by the GGP member or company who, through relentless determination, diligence, and dedication, has made a significant contribution to enhance the value, quality, effectiveness, and stature of the Geauga Growth Partnership. So, it is with great pride that I present the very first Frank Samuel Geauga Growth Partnership Distinguished Service Award to no one other than Frank Samuel. Frank? Where's he at? There he is. Come on, Frank. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Here, maybe I can hold, why don't you hold it?
I'll hold it.
All right, there we go.
It'll
Everybody
be-
get their pictures.
Everybody get the pictures. Thank you.
I'm sure you would like to say a few words.
I would like to say a few words, and at the risk of sounding like I just borrowed the thank yous that Carolyn and John and everyone else here has mentioned, I want to thank two groups in particular. First of all, I want to thank our interns. The interns, I assume there are a few here this morning, but our interns, I think, are one of the greatest sources of inspiration to me personally, and I think to all of the members of the board. They and their sponsoring employers, and I was pleased to see a group of new employers for the first time participating on our list, are really symbols of what we can expect to see and what we should expect to see in this county over the coming years. The other group of people that I want to acknowledge is a group that probably doesn't get the acknowledgement it deserves. And I will start at home. Jacqueline, whenever she hears that I'm taking on something new, gives a small sigh. It's gotten smaller over the years because she knows there's nothing that can be done about this. She gives a small sigh and nods her head and says, fine, if that's what you want to do, I'll be here to support you. So thank you for that. But in addition to Jacqueline, there are the spouses of our board members. And so instead of thanking the board, for whom I have the highest respect and affection, I want to thank Deb Epprick, Chris Steigerwald, Christy Frenchy, Sue Giles, and the Marys and Mamies and Savannahs and Bonnies and Beccas and all the others, to say nothing of the Toms, Marks, and Mikes that have supported our board as they have taken on the job of symbolizing and guiding this extraordinary organization. You all have made my day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Frank. Certainly beautiful words from a great speaker. If there is there any other business that comes before the partnership? Hearing none, the formal business meeting of the Geauga Growth Partnership is concluded. So may I have any motion to adjourn? Second? Thank you. The business meeting is now adjourned. And